Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Welcome to the match preview for Frank Lampard's first game in charge of Everton Football Club. Everton versus Brentford on Saturday, 5th of February, FA Cup tie. Always something we look forward to anyway. But so much more to this than they already needed to be. Frank Lampard's first game in the dugout at Goodison. Some new signings. Not so much the two we signed on deadline day. They'll be cup tied, but there might be a chance to see some of the other new players. A bit more of a close up of them. We haven't seen a lot of them yet, and of course the small matter of hopefully getting through to the next round of the cup as well. I'm joined by Mike. Mike, how are you feeling going into the first game of the Frank Lampard era?
Yeah, massively on a high, to be honest. I can't wait to get in the ground on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, which is great again. A good traditional kickoff time. I'm sure, compared to our last home game, even when Big Doug was in charge, it didn't have the same buzz it had when he was in charge last time. When he first got the chance to take over on an interim basis, it still felt a little bit flat because of the other issues with the club. But now getting a new manager installed, universally the fans seem to have approved of him, and yeah, it's going to be great. I think the whole build up, as you say, new players I'm sure will be introduced either before the game or at half time. Ideally before, because like Mikalenko wasn't against Brighton where we were getting beaten. He brought on at half time and no one was bothered. It's one of those, isn't it, where we just need to get off to a decent start. But I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to get there and just see how he sets us up, see who starts the game, and see what kind of performance we actually put in, and how we react to a change in manager, which is really, really key.
And we can't understate the importance of ourselves as fans. I think we discussed in the previous segment how I think our fans had a pretty strong influence on the manager we ended up with the protesting and really making the voices heard. I think we really need to make our voices heard in a more positive way. On Saturday, we really need to get behind the team and get behind the new manager and really will them on to a win. It'll be a real morale booster through to the next round of the cup, and it sets us in better stead then, I think, for the league games that obviously we need to get points in as well. I just think we need to get right off to a winning start here.
Any win's important. Whether it's the league, whether it's the cup, you've got to want to win the game, and that will then hopefully give us a boost going into Newcastle on Tuesday, which is a massive game for us. If we can go there and have won and beat the Premier League side in the FA Cup, put in a good performance, players looking to impress the manager, that's exactly what we need. And any win, like I say, is morale boosting for the side, which has been devoid of confidence for such a long time. These lads who are going to play the game, I've got to look to impress the manager and hopefully play for their position in the 11 in the squad. Because it's new eyes now. It's new. It's a fresh start for everyone. Forget what's gone before. It doesn't matter. It's got to look forward. And like you say, the fans have got to be on side and got to be united and get behind the team, which I'm 100% sure that we all will.
Yeah, and obviously the small matter of the new acquisitions. 2 of them can't play, but a few of them we might see a little bit more of. We mentioned in the previous segment that Frank Lampard's a bit more of an attack-minded manager. With that in mind, we might see maybe Nathan Patterson, El Ghazi maybe, a bit more of those 2.
I think so. El Ghazi can't play, can he? He's cup tied because he came off for Villa against United, didn't he, for about 3 minutes? So he's cup tied. Pretty sure that he is. Yeah, Steven Gerrard did it on purpose before he signed him. Pretty sure of that as well. So he can't play. So we know we've got Mikalenko and Patterson who arguably will look to start the game. And it'll be good to see what they do. In Patterson especially, we've not seen anything of him in the first team. We've seen a bit of obviously footage, and those who watch the game on YouTube against Spurs for the under-23s, where we had a good performance. Said earlier on, an assist for the goal for Lewis Dobbin. So it'd be good to see him, see what he brings to the side. I'm sure a lot of youthful enthusiasm, of course, but he's got that pace. He can join up with the attack. He's going to be raw again. Patience with him. He's going to make mistakes. It's not always going to work out. But this kid, by all means, has come with a fantastic reputation from Scottish football. A lot of potential suitors were after him. We got him. So I'm excited to see what he can do. And Mikalenko as well. Hopefully he gets the nod, and he's given another opportunity to show the fans what he's all about. He's a bit more of he's a sort of no nonsense left back. He's not as attacking as Luca Dean, but he's good in his own right. And again, it'll take time to adapt to English football. But it's another good game to put him in. Because the energy around the ground is going to be a lot different to what he'd experienced in recent weeks, that's for sure. So that should give the players a lift straight away, and I'm sure that'll give an extra 5 or 10%.
Obviously, there's got Brentford, of course, the opposition. They're a decent side. Obviously, the beat us in November. I mean, not particularly maybe more down to how bad we were, but I think they're an all right side. I think we have got to be wary of them as well.
Yeah, they started the season well, didn't they? You look at some of the performances that they put in. The first game of the season was against Arsenal. That was televised, and they were fantastic that night. Liverpool great game at home as well. Beat us, but I could have put together a side of 11 players and beaten us, I think, that night as well. So we let them win that game. We gave the game away. I think it was a penalty, wasn't it, in the end, which won them the game. We didn't play well at all, so I don't take much from that, and I don't take much from Brentford's good start of the season. Since then, they have tailed off. But you've got to be wary. They got some quality there. They got pace in attack. They really can do some damage in attack. So we've got to be careful. But I just think that with the mood around the team, around the club being lifted, and the atmosphere at the ground, I just think it's going to be a bit too much for them, and I do expect us to go on and win that game, which would be great for us through to the next round, and obviously, like I said earlier on, a morale booster before we play Newcastle on Tuesday.
Obviously, there will be some more personnel available. We mentioned there for the Newcastle game, but in terms of the personnel we've got available for the Brentford game, who would you go with in terms of your starting 11?
You've got to go in fairly strong. It looks like Calvert-Lewin's going to be out. He's not been training this week. He's got a knock apparently. That's only something that I've heard. How true it is, I don't know. So I'll have to probably leave him out of the reckoning. But I'd still go pretty strong. I'd like to see Pickford start the game. I'd go Mikalenko and Patterson left and right. And I think from what I've seen, Godfrey and Holgate look like they were lining up as a two centre halves, and saying whether that happens or not, I don't know. I think Godfrey and either Keane or Holgate will be at the back. Mina's he's been away with Colombia, hasn't he? So he's probably come back injured, no doubt. But who knows? But he came back early because he got a yellow card, so was suspended for the next game. So we'll see with him. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll get the nod. But I've not seen him in any kind of training footage in the last 2 days anyway. I do think Alan will start.
I don't know how much to read into the footage, I think.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because it's might take loads, don't you? And sometimes you think to yourself, well, not going to put out footage which gives too much away either, are they? So that'll be maybe just me reading too much into what I've seen in the videos. But Yeremina, we know he's had a number of injuries, so potentially, he's been on long haul flights as well. So they're probably just minding him. So we've not seen Dom. I would have thought we would have seen Dom. As I say, got a knock from what I know. But we'll see Saturday. But I think Alan will start in the middle of midfield with probably Andre Gomez, and I'd probably be looking to go with Gray Richarlison, and Andros Townsend potentially, or Anthony Gordon. I think Lampard would be keen to Anthony Gordon as well. But I think we might just see Richarlison play central if Calvert-Lewin's injured, and then you can go with Gray, Townsend and Anthony Gordon as a three behind. That's what I would be looking to do. That's what I think he'll do. But he could surprise us all. I mean, Lewis Dobbins floating around, great goal for the 23s against Spurs. I'm sure, signing his new contract, I'm sure he's in the thoughts of the minds as well to potentially either give him a start or give him a good bit of time as well.
You definitely want to be getting involved in this game, and I think hopefully if we are doing well in this game, I would like to see some of the younger lads get a run out. But that's wishful thinking. I don't think this will be an easy game. I don't think we will have a 2-goal cushion by the 75th minute. I think this is going to be a proper. It's going to be another slog in it. I think even with the new manager, I think it's going to be maybe a bedding period for them to really get the methods across. It might still be a bit of a scrap for us for the first couple of weeks, especially given the opposition we're playing.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, we can't expect too much too soon. It's about trying to find a way to win and be effective in however we set off. We're not going to just click because we've got a new manager and start to play fantastic football. So yeah, no, let's not expect a huge difference in terms of what we've seen. But if we see the effort that we saw against Villa in the game that Big Dunk was in charge of, with a bit more quality, because we had chances in that game. We should have really got something from the game. Let's be honest. But a bit more quality in the attacking third and the same kind of effort, and I think it'll be enough for us to get through. But it's a great cup tie. It's an exciting cup tie. All Premier League ties always are. The fact that Brentford have sent back, I think, more than half their allocation, because they got obviously an increased allocation for the FA Cup. It just favours ourselves, because instead of having sort of 5,500 Brentford fans or 5,000 Brentford fans, they're going to have sort of 1,500, 2,000. So that's massive for us. It's absolutely huge to get more Everton fans in there to see the manager in his first game, give him a great welcome, get behind the lads, and push us on to whether it's I don't care if it's a scrappy win. I don't care if it comes off someone's arm and goes in and doesn't get disallowed. Whatever happens, just go up there and go win the game.
Absolutely, I think. Like I say, I think we are stretched a little bit at the moment. Obviously, like you say, the three most recent signings, El Ghazi, Van der Beek and Dele Alli can't play. I think Decorah, he's out. And you mentioned there, I think Calvert-Lewin's out as well, is he?
It's what it looks like. I mean, that's what the rumours are, if you want to believe them. Obviously, not being pictured. He might just be getting managed, because we know he's had problems, he had muscle injuries. But if he's got any kind of knock, which is what the rumour is, he won't be missed with Newcastle coming up on Tuesday. So we can get him back out there maybe the back end of this week, just for a couple of sessions. Get him out there maybe Sunday, Monday as well. Then he should be okay for Tuesday. But there's, as you say, there's a few issues there, a few injuries, of course, a few lads who can't play because the cup's tied. But it's a great chance for the lads who do play to show the new manager that they're worthy of a spot in that Everton squad going forward.
Yeah, so in terms of the personnel, we've gone with the Patterson and Mikalenko at fullbacks, and you've gone with, you think it's going to be Holgate and Godfrey? I
think so. Again, that's me trying to analyse videos, isn't it? But Godfrey and Holgate, or Godfrey and Keane, but I'll stick with Godfrey and Holgate.
I'm going to hope we see Eddie Bean myself, and hopefully it'll be Mina alongside either Godfrey or Holgate, I think, would be the one for me.
It's definitely possible, isn't it? It's just that it's how he comes back from long haul flights. We know in the past he's struggled, hasn't he, when he's come back from international duty, where he's either got back and made the bench but not been ready to start the game. With him having an extra couple of days, where he's not played after the first game and he's actually travelled back early, could be helpful. If he's come back and he's recovered from playing and that flight, then of course he should start the game because he's our best centre half. But it all depends on him and what he's like in terms of his recovery.
Yeah, and then ahead of that, I don't think there'll be any doubt that Alan will play in the midfield. Who do you think's going to partner him, though? Like you said, Ali and Van der Beek both can't play. And
I think Gomez will be in there. I think Gomez will start with him, to be honest with you. I think they'll be the two. Rightly or wrongly, I just think that's what he'll go with. I like, Andre Gomez for me has got to play further forward. I don't like giving him any kind of defensive responsibility. He plays his better football, as an 8. Even Borton on a 10, I'd like him to be that far up because he has got that quality, and he's got that calm head, I think. And I would like to see him play that a little bit further forward. But I do think that'll be the two that he picks. Tara Onyango's got a shout, to be fair, as well. We want to put in a little bit of physicality. He's a big.
I wouldn't be
lad.
against that at all.
Yeah, he's someone who he's massive. He came on against Villa, didn't he? He's such a physical presence. It's going to take him time to get up to speed with obviously Premier League football, but can certainly do a job in there. If you want to have a bit more physicality, and you don't want to just leave it Alan and Andre Gomez in there. So he's in line potentially with a shout to start the game as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good shout. We mentioned the front three will likely be Gray Gordon, Richarlison is what I'd like it to be. I think that midfield, I'd like it to be Onyango, Gomez and Alan as the midfield three. I think that'd be a very balanced midfield. And, I think it's probably the best we can manage with regards to the restrictions, the players who were cup tied, the injuries with the squad is stretched. I would go with that midfield three that we've gone with there.
It's certainly possible. You've got a little bit more cover defensively then, obviously with Onyango and Alan, and you can say to Gomez, listen, get at the head of this triangle, get away from the back four if you like, but you've got no need to try and just track back and defend because we know we can't tackle. It's just not part of his game at all. But try and dictate things a little bit further forward because when we've seen that was against Arsenal, he came on against Hull in the cup when he grabbed the goal. He's just better in that final third for me. Just trying to dictate play and get involved with attacks. Just don't have him defending. It's very easy really. Because I've always been a fan of his. I know he's played poorly at times. Whether it's down to the injuries he's suffered and things like that. But there is a quality footballer in there for me. Technically, he's very, very good. He just needs to show it more often. But the only way for him to show it more often is to play more often and to play a more attacking position.
I think in terms of was really getting to the bare bones then of the squad, aren't we? When you're thinking about what we're going to have available on the bench, you've not got many, certainly not attacking options beyond that.
No, I mean if he doesn't start, so you've got Andros Townsend, you've got Lewis Dobbin, Rondon, fresh off a hat-trick for Venezuela. He might come back and it's probably done the world of good to go out there and get a few goals, which is great for him. So he'll be on the bench. Obviously Sims has gone on loan now, so that takes him out of the equation. So yeah, from an attacking point of view, there's not a great deal there, is there? Especially with not having the new lads available for that particular game. So it's going to be a bit of a sort of mismatch in terms of what we've got available. Probably a few 23s will be in there, possibly 2 goalkeepers. Who knows? But just hope we've got enough in that starting 11 and a couple of players off the bench to actually go on and win that game and get Lampard off to a winning start.
Definitely, and with that in mind, do you think it will be a winning start? We'll finish up with the prediction. What do you go with there, Mike?
I'm going with 2-1. 2-1 Everton win. We won't keep a clean sheet. I don't think we're going to get a clean sheet for the rest of the season, the way that we've defended. But it will come at some point. We will shore things up. But I think we will concede. But I think it's 2-1 Everton winning into the half of the 5th round.
I'm going to try and be a bit optimistic and let's go for 3-1. I'll go for 3-1. That's the first time.
So, yeah.
That's the first time predicted us to score 3 all season.
I know. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope we have an entertaining game and one be fitting of the FA Cup. It's what we love. We've got to, at the end of the day, we want to win the FA Cup. No point just taking part and going on the cup run, in it to win it. So let's prove that we are good enough and that we can go out there and put a performance in.
Indeed. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we get on, guys. If you've been tuning in, thanks for tuning in. And of course, drop your comment to let us know your predictions as well. And your musings going into this game. If this video a like, of course, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching on the Toffee Blues.